Next month, State Farm Stadium in Glendale will host the NCAA Men's Final Four basketball tournament. It's one of the major sporting events in all of sports, and it's expected to make a significant impact on the Valley's economy. Joining us now is Jay Perry, CEO of the Phoenix Final Four Local Organizing Committee. Welcome to Arizona Horizon. Busy times for you, huh?
It's go time for us at the Men's Final Four. We are ready for this party to start.
All right, so the Final Four weekend officially starts when?
It'll kick off on Monday, April 1st, and then the fan events really kick in on Friday, April 5th.
Okay, we got games April 6th and April 8th, correct?
Exactly. So semifinals will be on the 6th, so 2 games that night at State Farm Stadium, and then the big championship game on Monday the 8th.
All eyes in the sporting world will be out there. The preliminary events starting on the Monday, what happens?
So we'll start with our Legacy Court project. We're doing it at East Lake Park, just east of Central Phoenix. We've renovated a court along with Degree Deodorant and the NCAA, and it's a complete, takeover, inside, outside, new hoops, new courts, new baskets, new clocks, and that community center is going to come to life on April 2nd.
That's always been a hot spot for basketball there.
It has been.
It's very, very well known. In preparing for the Final Four, though, this is an interesting event because you don't know who's going to be in the Final Four until relatively late in the game. How does that affect things?
You know, we'll know on Sunday, March 31st, the 4 teams that are going to advance, and all eyes, as you said, will be on Arizona at that point. For us, it's really about creating that special fan experience and the student-athlete experience and introducing the world to what Arizona has to offer as a major market and as a sporting market. So for us, the teams that advance, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have great visitorship and great economic impact no matter what. Talk
about that visitorship. The average fan coming out here for the Final Four, provided it's not from Tucson and the U of A. We know where they're coming from. Right. But who do you expect to be out here? What kind of person comes out for this kind of event?
Sure. For the Men's Final Four, there really is something for everyone. So sports fans, for families, for our snowbirds, for our students. We expect a lot of our ASU students to participate in all the activities because we have something for everyone, free events, low-cost events. And so there's really a way for everyone to create their special memories around the Final Four.
For the Super Bowl, there are things happening all around the Valley and in different cities. Same kind of thing here or a little more focused?
Well, it's a regional event for the Men's Final Four. A lot of focus in downtown Phoenix with events happening and a lot of focus around Glendale and the Westgate entertainment area.
And when I asked about the average Final Four attendee, and I made the joke about Tucson, but I mean, if Tucson makes the Final Four, is that a good thing for the economic impact and the buzz because they're so close and they may not be spending too much time overnight here? That kind of a thing, as opposed to you get someone from Connecticut. I mean, they're going to come out here and have a ball and go everywhere and see everything they can.
Right. You know what? We think if Arizona were to advance and end up here for the Final Four, it would be terrific for the state. The excitement would be phenomenal leading up to it. We can imagine the caravans coming up from Tucson. And so we think that would be fantastic.
Extra focus on Arizona.
Absolutely.
Talk about the economic impact in general. What kind of numbers do you expect? And especially when we've already had one in 2017, what did you learn from that and how does that carry over?
Well, this is the second time we're hosting this iconic event. The first time was in 2017. It was a record-breaking success for Arizona. The economic impact was measured at just over $324 million by Arizona State University. And so we will do a similar study after this event concludes, and Arizona State, again, will do that so we have consistency of measurement, and we anticipate it will be significant.
Where as far as the studies are concerned, where do they show? Where do people go? What do they do? Are there certain areas? Do they go up to Sedona? Do they hit the White Mountain? What do they do?
You know, all the above. I mean, obviously the focus is in the Valley right around game week, but then we see a lot of exploring happening around the state either before or after, right? Kind of those shoulder periods. And so I heard stories from folks that worked at the NCAA that they said, we had such a great time in Sedona after the Men's Final Four in 2017. We can't wait to go back. So there's a lot of exploration that happens with the tens of thousands of visitors that come for this event.
And I would imagine there would be some spillover from spring training since it will have hardly ended, and you can maybe stick around a little bit and see if you can score some tickets, huh?
Absolutely. And those are sports fans, right? And there are people that love to participate participating in these events. And the events that we have to offer are just so much fun.
Yeah. Are tickets reserved for the participating teams? And if so, how much and how does that work?
So the NCAA controls the tickets to the game, and they distribute them to the participating institutions as well as their entire membership. So schools within the NCAA.
So, but if I want to go see the game, or if a neighbor or someone in town wants to go see the game, there will be tickets available?
So you can go on ncaa.com and look for tickets there. They're limited, and they're in pretty high demand.
Yeah. It's got to be very exciting right now. All sorts of things are going on.
Oh my gosh, so much is going on, and the excitement is definitely growing, right? And people are like, okay, we're in March Madness. The tournament is exciting. If you watch any basketball this weekend, with Arizona advancing, there's just a ton of interest.
Last question, how's your bracket doing?
You know, my bracket, I didn't have time to do a bracket. I've been focused on how do we make this event amazing. How's yours doing?
Mine's not doing all that well, and we're going to end the conversation right there. Jay, good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.